You ever feel like your immune system's glitching? Like it's stuck in Windows 98, randomly attacking your joints, skin, or thyroid like it's got beef with your own cells? And let's say you just powered through a 48-hour fast. Autophagy kicked in, your mitochondria are throwing a molecular rave. But somehow you still feel inflamed, foggy, or just plain broken? Yeah, you might have missed the master key, vitamin D. Not the pop one with your orange juice and hope for the best kind. I'm talking cholecalciferol in doses that make Big Pharma squint. Is the kind that turns your immune system from confused lapdog into a trained sniper. And here's where it gets wild. If your serum 25-hydroxyvitamin D levels are low, and statistically they are, your body can't regulate inflammation, can't balance hormones, can't even handle fasting properly. Why? Because vitamin D isn't just a vitamin. It's a hormone, a biologically active steroid hormone. It binds to nuclear receptors. It modulates gene expression. It's not just some sunny little supplement. It's biochemical Wi-Fi for your immune system. But here's the kicker. Most people, they've got vitamin D receptor polymorphisms. Translation, genetic typos that make your cells basically deaf to normal doses. So yeah, you could be supplementing like a champ and still starving your immune system for signal, which brings us to the protocol Big Pharma hopes you never Google. It was developed by a neurologist who wasn't even trying to fix the immune system. He just wanted to slow down brain degeneration. So he gave a patient a high dose of vitamin D and accidentally reversed an autoimmune skin condition. What followed? A 20-year underground movement. Dozens of countries, thousands of cases. Autoimmune symptoms? Reversed. Lab results? Normalized. Wheelchairs? Left behind. And yet, most doctors still don't even know it exists. It's called the Coimbra Protocol. And today, we're opening that file. Let me set the scene. Early 2000s, Brazil. Dr. Cicero Coimbra, a neurologist, legit brain guy, doesn't moonlight as a chakra realignment guru, doesn't sell powdered beetroot to Facebook moms. He's treating a patient with Parkinson's, trying to boost neurotrophic factors, which is just a fancy way of saying, let's feed the neurons before they quit and move to Florida. So he prescribes 10,000 IUs of vitamin D per day. Nothing insane, clinical, calculated, supervised. And then the universe glitched. So here's the kicker. This same patient, he also had vitiligo. You know, that autoimmune condition where your immune system cancels your skin pigment like a tweet from 2012. And Coimbra wasn't even aiming at that. He just wanted the guy's brain to behave. But a few weeks later, the guy walks back in, and the vitiligo nearly gone. White patches fading. Skin repigmenting. Immune system apparently got the memo and unflipped the self-destruct switch. And now, brace yourself, because you might think I'm being dramatic. But nope, here's what Dr. Coimbra himself said about that moment.
It turns out that when that patient came back, those lesions were almost disappeared. I was asking him what kind of treatment he was under for vitiligo. He said, nothing. I just took the vitamin D that you gave me. I was amazed to see that, and I was wondering what possible mechanisms vitamin D could be involved in preventing autoimmune diseases like vitiligo.
Let that sink in. A neurological patient walks in for brain support and accidentally reverses an autoimmune skin condition. No creams, no immune suppressants, no 12-step topical routine from a skincare TikTok priestess. Just high-dose vitamin D and a clinical eyebrow raise so hard, it probably left a dent in the ceiling. That moment should have changed everything. But instead of rewriting the textbooks, Coimbra had to write his own playbook, one patient at a time. And spoiler alert, this was the first domino in a sequence that would quietly but permanently unravel the way we think about autoimmunity forever. Okay, let's stop calling it a vitamin. It's not. At least not in the way you think. Vitamin D is a steroid hormone. Yeah, a hormone, like estrogen, like testosterone. Except this one won't give you mood swings or back acne. It gives your immune system marching orders. It binds to nuclear receptors inside your cells, which in human speak means it talks directly to your DNA. It literally walks into the control room and says, "All right, troops, T cells, stand down. B cells, chill. Inflammation, you're benched." And when you don't have enough vitamin D, chaos. Immune cells go rogue. Inflammation flares up like a toddler after a juice cleanse. And your body? It turns on itself because the molecular chain of command has gone full Lord of the Flies. Now here's where it gets nasty. Even if you're trying, even if you're out here supplementing like a wellness warrior, your body still might not be getting the message. Why? 2 words: vitamin D receptor polymorphisms. A fancy way of saying your DNA took some creative liberties. Polymorphisms, they're like typos in your genetic code. Not bad enough to break the whole book, just bad enough to turn clear instructions into vague suggestions. So your cells, they don't hear vitamin D correctly. Which means standard doses, they're like whispering at a rave. Technically there, practically useless. And this is exactly what Dr. Coimbra figured out. Some people need massively higher doses to break through those built-in genetic filters. And when they finally get the right amount, suddenly, the immune system listens. Autoimmunity backs off. Blood markers normalize. And patients start saying things like, "Wait, I can feel my hands again." And here's the kicker. Coimbra didn't stumble onto this once. He saw it again and again. Different diseases, different patients, same pattern. Low vitamin D, immune confusion. High enough dose, system reboot. Simple? Yes. Easy? Nope. But effective? Uncomfortably so. So here's the question that should be screaming in your brain right now. If vitamin D can flip the immune system back on track, if patients are walking again, healing again, living again, then why the hell haven't I heard a damn thing about this from my doctor? Oh, buckle up, because this is where the plot thickens, and the silence starts to make a lot more sense. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, wait, if this protocol is so effective, why isn't every doctor screaming it from the rooftops? Great question. Let's answer it with another. Have you ever tried to convince a glacier to sprint? That's medicine. When it meets something that isn't funded by a pharmaceutical Death Star. Dr. Coimbra didn't just help one guy with skin spots. He started documenting hundreds of patients, people with MS, lupus, vitiligo, Crohn's, all showing real improvement under this ultra-personalized high-dose vitamin D protocol. Monitored, measured, lab-tested, legit. So, he did what any ethical doctor would do. He tried to present his findings to the medical institutions. And now, brace yourself, because here's how they responded. Anecdotal. Oh, anecdotal. As in, sure, you reversed symptoms in hundreds of patients, but we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. And if that just made you throw your supplement bottle across the room, good. Because here's what Dr. Coimbra himself said. And yes, this is a direct quote.
So it's amazing to see how this large amount of publications, research, are not mentioned in medical textbooks. It's not mentioned in medical meetings. Regular doctor does not know about that. Publications that would possibly decrease the consumption of expensive medicine.
Boom, roasted. Let's be honest. If Coimbra had wrapped this protocol in a $3,000 a month injectable and tossed in a celebrity endorsement, we'd be on the 3rd Netflix documentary by now. But because it's a vitamin that costs less than your weekly kombucha addiction, nobody's cashing in, nobody's pushing it, nobody's funding it. And no one with a yacht-sized stake in immunosuppressant profits wants you Googling vitamin D protocol for autoimmune disease. This isn't a conspiracy. It's a business model. And Coimbra? He's just the guy who walked into the Matrix. found the glitch, and started teaching patients how to rewrite the code without waiting for system approval. All right, you're convinced. This protocol might actually be the real deal. You're Googling vitamin D megadose like your search bar owes you money. But hold up, Avenger. This is not a chug a bottle of D3 and unlock the universe situation. The Coimbra Protocol is precise. It's not DIY. It's not woo-woo. It's not for people who measure supplements with the spoon they use for cereal. This is a medically supervised, lab-monitored, gene-informed protocol that works like a custom software patch for your immune system. And here's what makes it tick. We're not talking about your grandma's Flintstones multivitamin with 400 IUs. We're talking daily doses ranging from 10,000 to 50,000 plus IUs, all based on your unique genetics and actual immune system activity. Yes, it sounds crazy. Yes, it freaks out doctors who still believe anything over 800 IUs will melt your kidneys. Really? Because here's the kicker.
Yes, that's right. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption from food. That's when we started using vitamin D. Just like 10 years later, we were amazed to see that like 90% of patients were having a normal life.
You heard the man. A decade of patient results. Not guesses, not Reddit threads, not Karen's cousin's blog post. Real clinical follow-ups with labs. This isn't optional. Coimbra docs check parathyroid hormone, creatinine, calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D metabolites, all to prevent any risk of overload or toxicity. Why? Because your body isn't a smoothie bar. You can't just dump stuff in and hope it blends. Calcium plus high-dose D? That combo can absolutely wreck your kidney function if it's not handled like science, not snack time. So the protocol bans dairy, limits calcium-rich foods, and sometimes pulls even your beloved supplements, unless your body really needs them. Think of it like this. Vitamin D is the architect. Calcium is the overenthusiastic intern who ruins everything when unsupervised. Genetic mutations, like VDR polymorphisms, change how your body uses vitamin D. So your dose, it's not a TikTok trend. It's not what your wellness coach told you after hot yoga. It's calculated, based on labs, symptoms, and whether your immune system plays nice or acts like it needs a timeout. This protocol isn't risky. What's risky is nuking your immune system with steroids while calling a vitamin too dangerous. And the Coimbra Protocol? It's not magic. It's just biochemistry applied correctly by people who can pronounce parathyroid without crying. By now, you've probably figured it out. This isn't some fringe protocol whispered about by barefoot influencers in Himalayan salt caves. This is clinical firepower, backed by real human transformations. And the most criminal part? Most people have never heard of it. Not because it doesn't work, not because it's dangerous, but because it doesn't come with $1 million marketing budget and a side of legal disclaimers read faster than auctioneers on Red Bull. Let me give you one last story. A girl, diagnosed with depression at age 4. Yeah, 4. By the time she was 17, she'd been on 7 different medications. Still not well, still struggling, still waiting for just one doctor to ask, hey, maybe we should check what's actually misfiring in her immune system. Enter the Coimbra Protocol. No fairy dust, no emotional support llamas, just labs, vitamin D, and a physician willing to think outside the pharmaceutical coloring book. And after just 1 year?
And she came back a year later, and she said that her depression was almost gone. She said that she was 85% better, and her psychiatrist was decreasing the drugs that she was taking. The psychiatrist thought that maybe she was no longer needing all those medications. You see, this is a tip of an iceberg.
85%. After 13 years of being chemically duct taped together by meds that barely kept her afloat. A protocol based on biochemistry, immune retraining, and actual data gave her back a normal life. No wonder this stuff's not on billboards. If this went mainstream, half the drug pipeline would need therapy. And here's the wild part. That story, just one of hundreds. People with MS walking without canes. Lupus patients ditching steroids. Vitiligo fading like a bad tattoo from your find yourself phase. This isn't a one-in-a-million miracle. This is what happens when someone actually listens to the immune system, instead of slapping it into submission and hoping for the best. So yeah, if you're still wondering whether this protocol is real, ask yourself, what's more absurd? A vitamin reversing autoimmune symptoms, or pretending it can't just because it's not profitable? You didn't just learn about vitamin D, you just stared into the eyes of a suppressed medical revolution and realized the real immune system upgrade was hiding in a bottle labeled supplement. You saw the science. You saw the protocol. You saw lives get rewritten, not by pharma magic, but by biology done right. And now you're wondering, why the hell doesn't everyone know this? Exactly. Because this isn't just about vitamin D. It's about reclaiming biological sovereignty from chronic chaos, from half-baked prescriptions, and from the healthcare equivalent of, don't ask questions, take the pill. And now that you know this, you can't unknow it. The Coimbra Protocol isn't a hack. It's not a trend. It's the instruction manual your immune system's been screaming for while you were busy blaming gluten. But buckle up, because we're not stopping here. Next up, we dive into the one mineral that makes or breaks everything you just learned. The silent partner that keeps vitamin D from turning into a biochemical diva. The deficiency sabotaging millions of healing journeys silently. Spoiler, it ain't calcium, it ain't zinc. It's the one nutrient vitamin D forgot to thank in its immune system acceptance speech. So smash that like button like it owes you remission. Subscribe like you're taking your immune system off autopilot. And drop a comment below if your brain just went full WTF, but make it science. This isn't just another video. This is your immune system's redemption arc.